First, let's go to Ogies in Mpumalanga. Mweli Masilela is our reporter in Mpumalanga. He joins us now on the latest in the protest. And Mweli, good afternoon to you. What's the situation there? From what we understand, it's been mainly quiet in Mpumalanga so far.
Good afternoon, Stephen. We are in Ogies on the N12 here, which is connecting Emalahleni and Mbombela or Johannesburg. But what we are seeing on the ground is that the situation is quite volatile. We've seen quite a number of trucks and vehicles belonging to some mining companies operating in this area that have been torched by angry community members here in the township of Pola here in Ogies. And in fact, we've just been chased away from the Pola township because the community members are saying that they don't want us there because we've seen that they've blocked some roads that are leading to the township, and also with some of the vehicles that have been torched. As you can see, Stephen, just behind me, there is some police officers that are on the ground trying to manage the situation here because of what has been happening here. When we arrived here, it was 2 trucks, Stephen, that were satellite along the N12, and it looks like they were heading for Johannesburg. So what you are seeing now is some tow trucks that are trying to remove those trucks that were set alight by community members here. Well, it's still not clear as to why were these trucks torched, but we know that it's not only starting today, Stephen. Even last night, there were some trucks that were satellite in this very same area, and it is very clear that community members are angry here. But to get some more, I've got the president of the Truckers Association of South Africa, Mary Party, just to give us some perspective in terms of what is happening here. We can see that there is a lot of vehicles that have been satellite here, including some trucks. Do you perhaps have some information at this stage as to what has exactly led to this particular situation?
We are informed that the community is responding to the current grievances that they have about the release of the former president, Jacob Zuma. So that's the reason why they took to the street, or they've taken the decision of that they've taken today.
I mean, you are the president of the Truckers Association of South Africa, representing quite a number of members. If you can tell us about the extent of the damage, do you perhaps know as to how many trucks have been at satellite up to this far? Because we know that even yesterday there are some trucks that were satellite.
For the past 3 days, more than 35 trucks in South Africa have been burned down, and 12 is from our members. And the challenge is that they normally burn those trucks while they are loaded with the product. So it has been a very expensive, it's an expensive exercise, not only burning a truck, but the goods inside the trucks itself.
Tell us then, how is this affecting your members, or you as the Truckers Association of South Africa? Because we know that Emalahleni in particular is the economic hub in terms of the coal mining. We know that it might even affect the generation of power, because most of the trucks that are operating here are supplying Eskom. Is there an impact already on the ground? What are some of the challenges that you are facing currently?
We are already worried that people are going to lose employment. Look, if you are losing a vehicle like a truck, what's going to happen is that the insurance is going to pay you for the damage and the vehicle itself, but they're not going to pay you for the standing time at the time when you are putting in a claim. So it will take about 10 to 12 days for you to get back the claim. And when you get the claim, you have only lost the number of days for you to work. So the operation is stopped. Not only that, today we had to stop as you know, all the trucks in the Mpumalanga area. So the operation, because it's stopping, is going to create more unemployment. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. We are sitting with the problem of, you know, the COVID. We come from the lockdown. It has been hard for TASA members. Now it's just getting worse because, you know, seeing this unrest is affecting more of our companies.
So what is the way forward now? What needs to be done to ensure that the economy of this country, especially when we're looking into the fact that you are supplying key companies like Eskom, what is the way forward now looking into this situation?
We are hoping that the government will find a solution to the problem, because this problem is beyond anybody else. Nobody can do anything. What happens is that, you know, as we see that it's about to get late now, We are worried that they throw a petrol bomb on the truck around 6 o'clock. So the situation needs really a serious leadership to stand up and say we have a problem and how do we resolve the problem. And they must resolve their problem as the government, as the ANC, because it affects business on the ground. It affects business at a lower level, and they don't understand what is happening down here. It's hard.
All right, Meripati, thank you very much for talking to us. Stephen, that's Meripati, who is the president of the Truckers Association of South Africa, well, saying that this particular problem that is facing the country now needs leadership, because already, as you have heard, there's quite a number of trucks in the country that have been satellite. In fact, she said more than 30, and they are concerned that probably later today they might see even more trucks satellite, especially in this particular area. So we will continue to monitor the situation on the ground, Stephen, because it doesn't look like anything will be resolved anytime soon.
Mweli Masilela, thanks very much indeed. He's near Ogies in Mpumalanga now.